This is the Olympus AC-5 Adapter, and it works with both 100 volts and 200 volts power supplies. So let me just unbox this. Okay, so this is the AC to DC power adapter, and if you look here, it says they provide 9 volts at 5 amps, so 45 watts of power. And let's see what else comes in the package. This is the power cable that comes with it. It's a US one. I'm based in the UK, so I need a different power cable, but I think I have something that will work with this. And this should be the manuals of some sort. I don't know if this is the manual or just the basic instructions. I mean, there's not much to it. Okay, so this is the instruction leaflet. This is pretty much all the instructions that comes with it. So it works with 100 volts and 240 volts, 50 or 60 hertz, outputs 9 volts up to 5000 milliamps or 5 amps, and can operate in temperatures between 0 and 40 degrees. And then its dimensions and its weight. So it weighs 285 grams. I'm just mentioning that for people to be aware of, in case you want to carry it with you. You know how much weight it will add in your bag. So that's 285 grams. Okay, so this AC-5 AC to DC adapter should work with the HLD-9 battery grip, which works with the E-M1 Mark II and E-M1 Mark III, as well as the E-M1X, but on the E-M1X it connects to the camera instead of through a grip, since that camera has an additional built-in grip, portrait grip. Okay, so I'm gonna connect this up to the E-M1X and E-M1 Mark III and see if it works or not. Okay, so I found a cable for it, which works with the UK power plugs, and it seems to be the standard one that's used for pretty much anything these days. So I'm going to plug that in, and you can see the light came on. I'm going to do a few tests with the Olympus AC-5 adapter and the E-M1X, and then I'm going to repeat all those tests with the HLD-9 and the E-M1 Mark III. Okay, so this is the E-M1X, and there's no batteries inside it at the moment. So I want to see whether this will work with the E-M1X without having any batteries inside it. Okay, so this is where it plugs in. Okay, so I've plugged it into the E-M1X now, but I haven't turned on the camera yet. So let me switch on the camera and see if it comes on. Okay, that seems fine. So now that the power is plugged in for the E-M1X, you can see the green light here, which means this is providing power and there's no batteries in the camera, and the camera is still functioning, so that's good. And another thing I wanted to draw your attention to is that there's no icon for the batteries here. So that's a confirmation that it's drawing all the power from this AC adapter to provide power to the camera. So I'm going to switch off the camera, and I'm going to insert 2 batteries into the battery compartment and see whether these batteries will get charged using the adapter while they're in camera. Okay, so you can see immediately both of these came on when I put the batteries in. So that means both of the batteries are being charged on the E-M1X. So you can run the camera with the AC adapter without having any batteries inside. And if you have batteries inside, then it can charge the two batteries as well. I'm going to switch it on and see whether it will draw power from the batteries or from the AC adapter to run the camera. Okay, so right now you can see that there's still no battery icon, which means it's still using the AC adapter to power the camera, and these two lights have switched off, which means when the camera is on, the batteries won't be charged. Another test I want to do is start video recording using the batteries and then plug in the AC adapter to see whether there will be a seamless transition from using battery power to AC adapter. So I'm going to start video recording now. Okay, so as you can see, the video recording has started and it's using the batteries. As you can see, the battery icon there. So if I plug in the AC adapter, let's see what happens. Okay, so I've plugged in the AC adapter now. And as you can see, the battery icon has disappeared. So it's using the AC adapter power to run the camera, and the video recording is still continuing seamless. And just to test that if I unplug the AC adapter, whether it will switch back to use the batteries automatically and seamlessly without interrupting the video recording. So I'm unplugging the AC adapter, and as you can see, the icon for the batteries appear again, and the video recording is continuing without any interruptions. Now I'm going to try to do the same thing using the USB-C. So start video recording, connect to the USB-C power, and then see how that impacts video recording. So this is a USB-C cable which is powered with the required voltage for power delivery. So I'm going to switch on the camera and I'm going to start video recording, and while I'm video recording I'm going to plug in the USB-C power to see whether video recording continues seamless or whether there will be an interruption. So I'm going to start video recording, and as you can see, video recording has started there and the battery icon is displaying, which means video recording is using the batteries in the camera. So if I plug in the USB-C power now, you can see that video recording stopped and the camera assessed whether you could use USB-C power, and it could, so the battery icons have disappeared. But video recording did stop. So using the AC-5 power adapter is better than using USB-C when video recording, because you don't have interruptions. Everything is seamless. So another thing I want to test is if I'm doing video recording using USB-C power, what happens if I unplug the USB-C power? Will the video recording continue seamlessly, or is there still an interruption? So I'm going to start video recording. So as you can see, video recording has started and there's no battery icon, which means it's using the power from USB-C. So I'm going to unplug the USB-C power now to see what happens. Okay, so video recording is continuing and it's using the power from the battery. So switching away from USB-C to battery works seamlessly without any interruptions during video recording. But if you're video recording using the battery power and then plug in the USB-C power, there will be an interruption. Okay, so I'm going to stop video recording now and I'm going to do all those tests again, but I'm going to use the HLD-9 power grip, or power battery holder as Olympus calls it, with the E-M1 Mark III. So this is the E-M1 Mark III and this is the HLD-9 grip. And one thing I want to mention about the HLD-9 grip is that this grip was initially made for the E-M1 Mark II as opposed to the Mark III, and it was never revised for the E-M1 Mark III. So the buttons might look slightly different on the E-M1 Mark III, on the back of the E-M1 Mark III, than it should compared to the E-M1 Mark II. And another thing worth mentioning is that the HLD-9 grip was created before the E-M1X. So in terms of timelines, the HLD-9 grip was created first, then the E-M1X camera, and then afterwards the E-M1 Mark III. I've connected the E-M1 Mark III to the HLD-9 power battery holder, and I have the AC-5 adapter here. There are no batteries in the camera or in the grip. So I am going to attach the AC-5 adapter to the grip and see whether the camera can run directly from the AC-5 adapter without having any batteries in the camera or in the grip. Okay, so as you can see, the camera turns on and it works fine. In fact, let me put a memory card in so that I can start video recording just to demonstrate that it actually works without having any batteries in. Okay, so here's a memory card. And we insert it into the memory card slot. Okay, so we have the Olympus AC-5 adapter plugged in and it's connected to the HLD-9 battery grip, which is connected to the E-M1 Mark III. I'm turning on the camera. Everything seems to be working fine. I'm gonna press record and video recording starts. So I'm gonna stop video recording again and switch off the camera. So what I'm going to do now is insert batteries into the camera and the power battery holder and then see whether the Olympus AC-5 will charge the batteries in the camera and in the grip like the M1X or not. So I'm going to unplug this and I have to open up the grip as well in order to insert the battery into the camera. Okay, so now I have a battery in the camera and one battery in the power battery holder. And let me switch on the camera so that you can actually see that the camera is running from the power battery holder, and the PBH there stands for the power battery holder. You can choose the order which you want the battery consumption to begin and finish. So you can start with using the battery grip first and then the camera so that you can switch batteries easier if you need to switch batteries. Okay, so I'm going to switch off the camera. I'm going to plug in the Olympus AC-5. Okay, so the Olympus AC-5 is on and there's no lights coming on the camera, which means the batteries are not being charged from the Olympus AC-5. So this is an advantage that the E-M1X has over the E-M1 Mark III and E-M1 Mark II when used with the HLD-9 grip and the Olympus AC-5 adapter. Okay, so I'm gonna unplug the AC-5 adapter, turn on the camera, and as you can see the camera is functioning using the batteries, and I'm gonna plug in the AC-5 adapter. And now you can see that the battery icon disappeared and the camera is using the Olympus AC-5 adapter to power the camera. So I'm going to unplug it again and you can see the battery icon appeared again, which means the camera is using the batteries. I'm going to start video recording using the batteries in the grip and the camera. So as you can see, the video recording has started and it's writing to the memory and it's using the power from the grip. And now I'm going to plug in the AC-5 adapter to see if it switches seamlessly without interrupting the video recording. Okay, so I've plugged in the AC-5 adapter. Video recording is continuing seamlessly and the battery icon has disappeared, which confirms that the camera is being powered via the AC-5 adapter. Now let's see if the same thing happens if I unplug it, if it switches seamlessly back to using power from the batteries during video recording. Okay, so I've unplugged the AC-5 adapter. Video recording is continuing seamlessly and the camera is using the batteries. Now I'm going to test the same thing using USB-C. So here I have USB-C power delivery. Video recording is in progress and I'm going to plug in the USB-C power to see if video recording will continue seamlessly. Okay, so video recording stopped altogether and the camera is still using the power from the grip as opposed to using USB-C power. So that's interesting. Now let's switch the first battery to be used to the camera and do that test again. So I'm going to unplug the USB-C. I'm going to go to the menu. So instead of using the power battery holder, I'm changing the priority to use the battery in the camera body itself. So you can see the change there. I'm going to come out of the menu. And here on top you can see that the 3 letters PBH have disappeared. That means the camera is being powered from the battery in the camera as opposed to the battery in the grip. So I'm going to start video recording. And video recording has started, as you can see here, and it's using the battery in the camera and it's writing to the memory card. So now I'm going to plug in the USB-C power. Okay, so video recording stopped and the camera is assessing what voltage and power is being provided. This is taking longer than I expected. Okay, I think the camera might have frozen because it never takes this long. Let me unplug the USB-C and... Okay, so I switched back to the camera. Okay, let me just plug in the USB-C again and see what happens. Okay, to me it looks like the camera is struggling to switch to USB-C and I'm not sure why that would be. Maybe if I detach the HLD-9, that would work. I'm going to go through the menus to check. Okay, this is the setting I wanted to check. USB mode, USB power delivery. So that's correct. Okay, so I'll change the USB setting to be auto as opposed to USB-C power delivery, and I'm going to plug it in and see what happens this time. So USB power delivery is disabled. Okay, so it seems like USB power delivery is disabled if you have the HLD-9 grip connected to the camera. So I'm going to disconnect the HLD-9 power battery holder and connect the USB-C just to make sure that it works as expected. And now you can see that USB power delivery is enabled. Okay, and now the battery icon have disappeared, so it means that it's using the power from the USB-C power delivery. So I'm going to unplug it again. Start video recording. And you can see video recording is started and it's using the battery. And I'm gonna plug in the USB-C power. And you can see that video recording stops. And you select USB-C power delivery, and now the battery icon has disappeared. So you might think the reason it stopped is because the USB mode is set to auto as opposed to USB power delivery. But I'm going to set it to USB power delivery. So it should automatically use power delivery if available. So if I go at start video recording using the camera's battery, plug in the USB-C. You can see that video recording stopped. It's checking the voltage and the current, and now it switches to USB-C and the battery icon has disappeared. So if you're doing video recording using the battery and you plug in the USB-C cable, the video recording will stop. Now let's see what happens the opposite direction. So if we have the USB-C plugged in, providing power to the camera, and we start video recording, what happens if I unplug the USB-C? Okay, so as you can see, when I unplug the USB-C, video recording continues seamlessly and it switches to using the battery in the camera. So to summarize, when the HLD-9 power grip is connected to the E-M1 Mark III, it's not possible to use USB-C power delivery. And if you don't have the grip attached, when using USB-C power delivery, if you connect USB-C to the camera, video recording will stop, so there's an interruption. But if it's in the opposite direction where USB-C is connected and USB-C runs out of power from the source, or you unplug it, video recording will continue. Whereas if you're using the AC-5 adapter with the power grip, you can switch to the battery or vice versa without any interruptions in the video recording. And this is correct for both the E-M1 Mark III with the HLD-9 power grip, as well as with the E-M1X that has a built-in grip. So the other advantage of the E-M1X over the E-M1 Mark III with the HLD-9 grip is that you can charge the batteries in the camera or in the grip when using the AC-5, which is not possible with the E-M1 Mark III. So one more thing that might be worth showing is the comparison of charging batteries using USB-C in the camera. So let me connect the grip again. Okay, so we have the HLD-9 battery grip connected to the E-M1 Mark III, and I'm going to plug in the USB-C power to see whether it charges the batteries in the camera and in the grip. So as you can see, it will charge the battery in the camera, but not the one in the grip. And if I use the AC-5, it's not going to charge either the battery in the camera or in the grip. So with USB-C, you can charge the battery in the camera, but not in the grip. And let's try that on the E-M1X as well. So on the E-M1X, if I plug in USB-C power into the camera, let's see if the batteries will charge. Okay, so both of these lights are coming on, which means the batteries in the E-M1X will charge with the USB-C, and we already tested that it works with the AC-5 adapter as well. So when it comes to charging the batteries, the E-M1X is better because you can charge both batteries using the Olympus AC-5 adapter, but you can also charge both batteries using USB-C. Whereas when it comes to the E-M1 Mark III and the HLD-9 battery grip, you can't charge any of the batteries using the Olympus AC-5 adapter, but you can charge the battery in the camera only with USB-C, but the battery in the grip won't charge with the USB-C. And if you have the HLD-9 connected to the E-M1 Mark III, USB-C power delivery won't work at all anyway. So I think using the AC-5 adapter, or maybe creating a workaround to have the 9 volt with 5 amps of current being available from a V-mount battery, and using that is a better solution than using USB-C to power the camera, particularly when it comes to video recording. And that goes for both cameras. And when it comes to charging on the E-M1X, the AC-5 adapter will work and USB-C will work as well. So there's no real big difference in terms of charging the batteries, but on the E-M1 Mark III, USB-C is better for charging the battery in the camera. But in terms of video recording, the AC-5 or providing a similar solution using a V-mount battery is better. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions about any peculiarities of how these cameras work with the Olympus AC-5 or USB-C, or if you want me to demonstrate something else.